How do you set your boundaries and honor your needs? My name's Kute, Blackson, nationally best-selling author of You Are the One. As we are in these unique quarantine times, stuck at home, shelter in place, many of us unable to go out and work. We're stuck with our loved ones, stuck with our spouses, our children, our parents, our families. It's only natural that you're going to get triggered. It's only natural that you're going to have your buttons pushed. It's only natural that all sorts of feelings might come up inside of you that you've either suppressed, you've either avoided, you've either run from, and all sorts of issues in your relationship that perhaps in previous times, post-COVID-19, you didn't have to face as intensely, but when you are with someone 24/7 or more than normal, it's going to stir up, or often, or most of those suppressed feelings, or the untruths that you have been suppressing, the truths that you've been suppressing, are going to come to the surface. And so during these times when you're in such close quarters to someone, how do you set your boundaries when your partner, when your friends, when your family, when those you love might be making requests from you, might be upset in their own or miserable in their own right, in their own world, and maybe projecting that onto you, wanting things from you, wanting you to make them happy, wanting you to give them things that fulfill them in certain ways, seeking love and validation from you because maybe you're all they've got during this time. How do you honor your needs and also set your boundaries, but also in doing so, honor your relationship with those that you love? Please realize that your needs are valuable. Please realize that you don't have to feel bad in order to make someone else feel good. You don't have to feel terrible in order to make someone else happy. You don't have to betray yourself, what you want, what you feel, what you need in order to love and honor someone else. Love doesn't mean sacrificing your needs, your authentic desires, and especially your essence. All that will end up doing is creating a codependent relationship with another person. And in the long run, when you say yes, when you mean no, when you dishonor yourself, in the long run, it will only backfire, because your not honoring yourself will only lead to you feeling frustrated, upset, angry, and resentful at the other person. Sometimes you have to say no to someone else in order to say yes to yourself. And when you betray yourself, when you don't honor your truth, when you don't honor what you need in order to give someone what they need, not only do you dishonor yourself, but you actually end up dishonoring another person. Many times we do this because we think we have to be some idea or some version of what someone else wants us to be, what our mother, our father, our caretakers wanted us to be. We have this idea of who we thought we need to be in order to be loved. The only thing is, when you sell yourself out, when you be who you think you need to be in order to be loved, you disconnect from your truth. You disconnect from who you really are. You disconnect from your center. You disconnect from your core. And you start seeking love outside of yourself. And even when people outside love you and give you the love that you thought you wanted, deep down inside, it never really feels good, because deep down inside, you know that the you, or the version of you that they're loving, isn't really you. It's just a version of you who you think you're needing to be, pretending to be, acting to be, playing a role to be in order to get the love, the validation, the approval, the acceptance anyway. So ultimately, deep down, there is a knowing and a sense that the you they're loving is not the real you anyway. The only way to truly have an authentic connection, authentic relationship, is to honor yourself. So get in touch during this time of quarantine lockdown to truly get in touch with yourself. Get in touch with, what are my needs? What is my truth? Because if you're not being, here's the challenge. If you're not being who you really are, if you're not sharing what your truth really is, if you're not expressing what you need, want, and desire, if you're not being just the authentic version of yourself and you're pretending to be someone else in order to be accepted, in order to get love, in order to not make waves, in order to keep the peace, then you also don't give those around you, you don't give your loved ones, your spouse, your husband, your parents, or those the friends, or those that you're living with, you don't give them the opportunity to get to know who you really are. You don't give them that privilege. You don't give them that honor. So they don't know who you really are. So if they don't know who you really are, how can they truly meet your real, authentic needs? It's when you dare to be who you really are. Not as a reaction, but it's when you dare to be who you really are by getting in touch with, who am I? What do I want? What do I need? What's true for me? What's authentic for me? What's important to me? That's why I think this quarantine time, this lockdown time, is a beautiful opportunity to really get to know yourself. Who would I be if I didn't need to be who I was conditioned to be? What would I say? What would I speak? What would I do? What would I express? What would I communicate if I didn't need to communicate and express and do all the things I've been conditioned to do or thought I needed to do in order to get love, validation, and approval? This is a time to get to know yourself. As you get to know yourself, then you can be yourself. When you be yourself and you transmit who you are, then you begin to also attract people into your life that are able to love you for who you are, love you for being who you are, love you for being real. Many times, when people come together in a relationship in the beginning, we are actually pretending. We're pretending to be who we think the other person wants us to be so that we can get the love that we want. And so, we often play a game in the beginning of relationships. It's like, well, yeah, I love yoga. I love to meditate. I love green juice. Oh, I love vegan food. I love, sun gazing. I love jogging. I love, and we pretend to be that. Not that it's not for you. We pretend to be that. But maybe you really don't like any of that stuff. And you get into a relationship, and then finally you can't hold it together anymore, and you give up the charade, and you realize, I don't like any of that stuff. I like sitting on the couch. I like American football. I like MMA sports. I like eating beef burgers. This is who I am. And then your partner says, well, that's not who I thought you were. Well, this is who I am. And so if you just be yourself, to me, the greatest gift you can give the world is to be yourself. If you just be yourself, then by you being yourself, if you attract someone, people, friends, people, a lover into your life by you being who you are, then if they still love you for you being who you are, then you know that you found love. To me, the greatest boundary to set really is first by being who you are. When you are being who you are transmitting an energy, and that is the boundary that will repel those that don't connect with you, those that aren't a vibrational match for you, those that don't align with you, and that will begin to attract people into your life that feel who you authentically are and gravitate naturally towards that. So during this time, as you are stuck at home, during this time, as you are with your loved ones and family, feel what's your truth, feel what's real for you, feel what's not real for you, and use this time to dare to communicate your truth, to dare to lovingly honor the other person by sharing with them more of who you are, sharing with them, communicating with them more of what you feel, sharing with them, and let them know. I'm not feeling honored right now. Let them know that wasn't okay with me. Let them know how you really feel. It's only when you let them know how you really feel by being in touch with what you really feel, tuning into your body, tuning into the sensation, in terms of what you really feel. It's only when you do that that you give them the opportunity to honor you back. When you share your truth, that didn't feel good to me. When you share your truth, this is what I really need. That's when you give the other person the opportunity to honor you back. When you don't, you rob them of that opportunity, and it's really not their responsibility, it's yours. Ultimately, you are responsible for setting your boundaries with love, with kindness, with compassion, and you are responsible by tuning in to what your needs are and communicating that to other people very clearly and very specifically. Because please remember, those that you love, your lover, your spouse, they are not psychic. Many times we think they should know what I need. They should know what I want. They should know how to love me. The thing is, many times, the way the needs we need are not necessarily the needs other people need. And so often in any relationship, the other person is often loving you or giving to you, many times what they think they need. So I tell people, don't simply treat people how you want to be treated. Find out how they want to be treated. Find out what makes them feel loved and love them in those ways. But it's not possible if you aren't honoring yourself and communicating what you need. It starts with you. Sometimes you have to say no to others so you can say yes to yourself. Folks, if you enjoyed this short video, please do share it with your friends and family. Post it on social media. Go to my website, www.kuteblackson.com. Follow me on Instagram and Facebook. Sending you much love now.